Hey there everyone, how you doing? It's been a while since I've talked to you. I'm really glad to be back. It's Tanya from Royal City Nursery and we are going to talk Christmas trees. So Christmas trees are here at Royal City Nursery. They're hanging up, as you can see. We've got a whole bunch that are hung and they're easy to spin so you can see exactly what it is you get when you get home. So they're also out of the snow and out of the rain. They're nice and dry. We carry 4 different kinds of tree this year, and I wanted to show you what those 4 different kinds are and why you might choose one over the other. The most popular one right now is a Fraser Fir, and that's the one that's sitting here on my right. So when we take a look at this particular one, it's got relatively stiff branches, and the nice thing with Fraser Firs is these guys, the needles last the absolute longest. So as long as your tree doesn't dry out, expect you can get about 6 to 8 weeks out of a Fraser Fir when you put it up in your home. Again, part of that's going to depend on just how warm your house actually is. The warmer your house is, the shorter the time. Makes total sense. You also need to remember to water it too. So that's one kind. Right now that's our favorite. That's the one that both Dave and I bring home. Another favorite for many of our clients are the Balsam Fir, which is back in here. Here we are. Balsam Fir, a little bit softer. For those of you that have tree allergies, Balsam Fir is actually one of the I don't want to say hypoallergenic because it's not 100%, but this is the one that people have the least amount of reaction to for allergies and pollen issues. So when we think about needles lasting, again, no different than the Fraser. As long as it gets a good cut and it never dries out, figure you're about 4 to 6 weeks for lasting indoors. And again, depends on the heat of your house. The other thing I'm going to get you to notice before we move on is we name all of our tags. So that's what this purple tag is here. So this just allows us to have a little bit of fun and allows you to take some of the fun home too. So this particular tree is named Nemo. We had Yukon Cornelius up there. I've got Captain Clark over here and a couple others. So on the upside, when you bring them home, don't be afraid to tag us and let us follow your tree along on social media. So that's 2 different kinds of trees. For tree number 3, we're actually going to squeak through here into a new tree that we've got this year. This is called a Serbian Spruce. We like Serbian spruce because it's not as prickly as a traditional Colorado or white spruce is. So it's still fairly soft to the touch, which is awesome. But if I can get you to take an up close look, we look in the underside of the branch. The undersides are white. And that means when you light this, it'll actually glow. So it looks a little bit different at night than the other couple of firs do. So again, Serbian spruce. And as long as this one doesn't dry out, figure you're going to be in that 2 to 3, maybe 4 week range to get the needles to last. And the most traditional Canadian tree, I'm going to get you to follow me to the back of the house, is our Scotch Pine. So for those of you that have had a traditional Canadian Christmas tree, we're thinking Scotch Pine. So when we look at this one, it's got the long needles, super, super bushy. But with this, you want to bring it in a little bit closer to Christmas. So expect that usually you get 2 to 3 weeks out of the needles. Now, the easiest way to make sure your tree lasts the longest is to do a couple things. First and foremost, give your tree a fresh cut just before you bring it inside. As soon as you do that fresh cut, you have about an hour to an hour and a half to get it into a bucket of water or into a stand, and you need to make sure it does not dry out. The first 3 or 4 days, expect your tree to go through a ton of water. It's not unusual for some of the firs to go through almost a gallon a day. As the tree acclimatizes to your home, expect that it's not going to go through as much water, but you still need to check it every day. The other thing we absolutely recommend is this little guy, this happy little ball. So this is a Christmas tree preservative, and what this actually does, totally better than 7-Up or ginger ale or anything else that you're going to add to the water. But what this actually does, once you mix it in water, the tree pulls it up and it helps to open up the cells in the tree, in the vascular system, so it makes the tree available to pull up more. So then it also, in addition to being able to pull up more water, the other thing it does is give a little bit of a waxy coating from the inside out of the plant. So we still have a living thing. We're still going to make sure it exchanges oxygen, but we do want to make sure it lasts a little bit longer. So we've got a fresh cut, we've got water on a regular basis, and we've got some tree preservative. Other than that, I hope you have a phenomenal Christmas. May your families come to your place this year, and may we not be in our driveways. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.